This week on Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, we'll be talking about Star Trek Picard, Season 2, Episode 7, Monsters, along with some other Star Trek items, and maybe a little bit off topic as well. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Mike, how's it going today?
Good, Johnson. How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's been a long week. I'm very tired, but hence this life, toil and suffering. What about you? How's your week been?
I'm tired too. I woke up really early this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. My mind was
Well,
just
your boss
busy.
is out this week. So what's your excuse?
No, I just had a lot on my mind. Just thinking about a lot of different creative projects and things that I'm doing, outside of work. And so I'm just, my mind woke up and it was chatting away, and I didn't feel tired. I feel tired now, but I didn't feel tired this morning. In fact, I even debated about getting up and like going into the office or, into the home office, not into the office. But I knew if I did that, Hamish would wake up, and then that he would wake up Dennis and all of this. So I just
over. Basically.
Yeah. So I just laid in bed and thought, did some thinking, and yes. So yeah, but I am tired now, and we are recording kind of late because someone had last minute dinner plans.
We've been recording late pretty often. This is nothing new.
True. But I was expecting like our normal like 7 o'clock recording time tonight.
Oh, okay. I gave you plenty of heads up.
If you call 90 minutes heads up, sure. I'll remember.
Wait, was it only 90 minutes before?
No. I think so. It was like 5:30.
Oh, okay.
So you said, hey, can we yes.
Well, did you cook dinner today?
But it's fine. No, I didn't have to cook dinner.
Did Dennis make dinner?
Dennis cooked dinner. It was good. And yeah. No, so yeah. I did go into the office today. I had some things to do. I had to meet some people and do some things that I could only do on site. So I did do that. So I got in a lot of walking and a lot of calorie burning, and now I'm tired.
Well,
so yeah, but I still have a lot of thoughts about Star Trek that
of course,
this is fun.
I can talk about Star Trek even if I was dead. Like I can just talk about Star Trek all the time.
Yeah,
crazy.
And today's a trio of birthdays. So George Takei is 85 today.
Okay. Whose other birthdays is it?
Ian Alexander's 21st birthday is today.
He's 21?
Yes.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Okay.
And then he could, I guess. Oh. Yes. And then Noah Averbach Katz, his birthday is also today.
Yes.
So yeah. So busy day in Star Trek, like birthdays. And we're 2 weeks away from Strange New Worlds. Oh, they are doing a premiere in New York.
Oh, they are?
Yes, and the Sci-Fi Sisters got invited to it.
Is it like a red carpet premiere, or is it kind of just screen the first episode? Do you know?
No, it's like the Picard premiere.
Okay.
On the red carpet.
Okay. Okay.
Bill and Dan were on the red carpet for that and got to talk to a bunch of. So yeah, so they were on the red carpet for that, and that was actually back before we even started this podcast.
Right, because we started this podcast. You and I started this podcast after season 1. Or during season 1. I don't remember.
We talked, we did some test recording. We started in mid-March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. We started a podcast right away.
Right.
So it's a red carpet, and so the sisters.
Where is it?
It's just up the street from us. It's at the Lincoln Center AMC.
Oh, okay, that's where they always have all the red carpets. I've been to red
Uh,
carpets there. It's fine.
of course you have. It's fine. Yes.
It's fine.
He's so
No, it's
humble.
for
He's so
work.
humble.
It's for work.
I understand. I understand.
I think what
Yes.
was I?
Yes.
What movie was it? I think it was. It wasn't Get Out. It was like one of. It wasn't. Was it Jordan? Was it Jordan Peele movie? It was like in that vein, and they had drinks,
Okay.
and I was like, "Oh, this is nice," but I was also
Yeah.
like, "I want to go home." So,
So what's
yeah,
really cool is
we should get together
this
of
this this
them. Are they going to come in town? Are they going to go?
they're trying, some work they need to figure out the work things and whatever. Yvette's here in the city, so she'll definitely be there, but whether Sabrina,
Is
Fran,
Yvette? Does she live in
and
the city?
she lives in the Bronx, yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought she lived in Westchester. Okay.
No. Or maybe she does. I don't know. Now you got me confused.
Yeah, I thought she
But
lived like
anyway,
upstate. But
no, not upstate. No, I mean,
Westchester's upstate.
okay.
Anything north of
Yeah.
Bronx is upstate. So
Okay.
that's where I thought she was.
But I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. So they got invited by Anson himself.
Oh
Like
wow.
yeah, it's a
Cool.
great story. I'll let Tamia or Yvette tell you the actual story. So it's really cool. So they got invited to the premiere. They're going to be on the red carpet
Very
interviewing
cool.
people. So that's exciting, really exciting for them.
Do you know when it is?
What?
Do you know when it is?
I do. It's next Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yes, next Saturday night. I think it's next Saturday night. Or is it this Saturday night?
Uh,
I don't.
it's probably next
I,
Saturday night because then the actual premiere on
premiere
Paramount Plus
is
is falling Thursday. So that makes sense.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I can't go.
So
I have
yeah,
plans.
of course you do.
I
You're
have plans
fully
already.
booked out. Of course.
But if they want to have
Um,
brunch, I can do that. I'm free for brunch right now.
okay. Well, I'll float that out to them
Not
later
dinner.
on. Of course not. I have a much more open schedule, so I'll be like, "What do you ladies want to do?"
It's a
If
friend's
Johnson,
birthday. I gotta go.
if Johnson is free from his social responsibilities, then he can join
No,
us.
a friend's turning 40. It's over. I can't go. Sorry. Even if I was to meet Anson Mount, but I can't go. Sorry. It's friend's 40 birthday. Sorry, later.
Well, all right. Well, there you go.
Doesn't matter. But that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
I mean, I'm getting really excited about this. I hear it's really good. Our minds are going to be blown from episode 1, I've been told,
Goodness.
by sources who have seen it already. And yeah. And you know me, I'm like, have we heard the theme yet? And they're like, no, you haven't heard the
No.
theme yet.
What do you mean?
I was like,
how will
okay,
we have
all
heard the
right.
theme already?
No, well, I didn't know if it was in the trailer or not. I can't remember what kind of music they played in the trailer, but
Well, they played. Remember, I was like, it was very like Hans Zimmer. Do you remember my comment about
I
the trailer?
do. Oh, yes, I do
It was like
vaguely remember
a
this.
lot of, which is very
No,
Hans
don't do.
Zimmer.
I don't know what you were doing with your face and nose and mouth right then, but
So Hans Zimmer, he did the Inception soundtrack. He's done a lot with Christopher Nolan, and he uses a lot of like horns and
okay.
electronic, like deep bass.
Yes,
Like you remember Inception, right?
I do. I don't remember the soundtrack exactly though.
Oh my god, Inception soundtrack's amazing. All the Christopher Nolan soundtracks are amazing.
Okay. Well, that's quite a praise coming from you.
Oh my god, they're really good, but they do have a very consistent through line in use of like horns and electronic.
I mean, I love soundtrack music, so I will, now that you've said that, I will go and listen to the Inception soundtrack. Not right now. We're recording. No, stop that. That probably sounds horrible, and I'll have to edit that out. Our listeners, our 3 listeners, do not pay for you to make music sounds.
All right. Well, anyway, that's awesome that they got invited. I hope they can go. I will not be going, obviously. But if they want to have brunch,
well, we're not invited.
I understand. So even
I'm
saying, even if I was, I can't go because I have plans.
Okay.
But that's awesome for them. But if they want to have brunch, I'm up for it.
Okay. All right. I will float the idea out into the metaverse.
Okay. The metaverse, get out of here.
Whatever.
I understand. Okay, cool. That's cool. Well, yes, we are looking forward to that. Is there any other Star Trek news to talk about? I know I promised that we would have some Star Trek tidbits to talk about in the intro, but I'm trying to think what else.
Well, we are desperately trying to see Mary Wiseman in her play here in New York City, but it keeps on getting canceled. So
if anyone listened to the end of our last episode, I had mentioned that I had planned to take Mike to a performance of Mary Wiseman's play at the wedding, which conveniently got canceled I got a cancellation notice when we were in Chicago, and we rescheduled it for this coming Saturday, the 23rd, and it got canceled again. And now we're like, what the fuck? But then they released a block.
Now we're a month out.
And now, yes. And I don't know. Yeah, because I thought it only got extended till this weekend or next week, but then there's a block of performances in like mid-May. So now we're going.
Well, I hope she's still in it in mid-May. She may have other obligations. Hopefully not.
Well,
I mean,
the 22nd, May 22nd is the last day of the next block. So I don't know if there's more extensions, because I'm going to be in California for work that week and coming back on the 21st. So the 22nd is like the last day. That's like the last day that I can make it. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm hopeful that we'll get to see Mary Wiseman and maybe get a selfie with her outside of the theater and have her sign the playbill and all of that exciting stuff. And we can tell her how awesome she is and how we missed her in Discovery.
Yeah, we missed her. Yes.
And ask her to spill the beans on the Starfleet Academy series that she's gonna lead. Joking.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But
so
we'll see her in a month. Will I be alive at the end of May? We'll see what happens. It's really far away.
Not if you keep on pissing me off like you are.
All right. Well, so there's that. And then, I guess the other thing that it's not news, but it was making the rounds on a lot of the sites I read, but this short animated short animation of Best of Both Worlds in the animated series style.
Yes.
Which I've never seen, but this inspired me to watch episode 1 of the animated series, which actually wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Season 1, episode 1, I was like, this is watchable. It's not misogynist or anything. Like, it's, nothing too out there.
It's the original voices and everything.
The original voices. They have like these environmental belts. Do you remember that? It's like they put on a belt. They don't need to put on a spacesuit. It just creates a force field around them. I'm like, well, that's convenient. Yes. We don't see that. But yeah, no, it wasn't a bad episode. It was decent. I enjoyed it.
Well, cool. And then what did you think of? So they did like a 2 or 3 minute. This person who I don't know his name did a 2 or 3 minute. Next Generation
behind the scenes how he did it. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, I didn't see the behind the scenes how he did it. I just saw the actual clip. That's all I saw.
That's all he did. That's all he did. And there's also behind the scenes where he was explaining how he did it, and he drew it in Photoshop frame by frame. Like,
oh my word, really?
He wanted to emulate the original way they did it, and he also applied like smudges and dirt to the cells just to kind of imitate like just the film, the grain and everything.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's actually very cool how much detail he put into it, and he definitely used music from the animated series, sound effects.
Yes.
Very, very cool. Very thoughtful.
Yeah, the sound effects were definitely the same as in the series. Yeah, it was really impressive. I hope he gets a job maybe on Lower Decks or something for doing that.
Well, he works for an animation studio.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay.
They do like cartoons or some sort of
all right, so he already has his dream job. This was like a little
I don't know if he has a dream job. Maybe if Paramount Plus was like, do you want a job, he might leave, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that was cool.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was cool. And then today, actually, congratulations to Wil Wheaton, who
Oh
just
yes.
found out a few hours ago that he is a New York Times best-selling author
Yeah,
for
that was
Still
cool.
Just a Geek.
Yeah.
I'm about 80% of the way through the audiobook. It's excellent. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, congratulations, Will. That's awesome.
yeah, that is awesome. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that's all the tidbits of Star Trek things that are going on.
I'm trying to
It's
think what
pretty quiet
else.
now, other than the press tour. So they did the press junket for Strange New Worlds earlier this week, maybe even
Hmm.
yesterday or the day. No, they did it on Monday. So articles are starting to pop up on Strange New Worlds. I am not reading any of them. I really do want to watch at least this first episode, with just like that kind of that those eyes that watched the first episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation,
Mm.
which
Well,
I don't know if I
I
shared.
like
I watched.
Encounter at Farpoint. Hopefully, it's better than Encounter at Farpoint.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be better than a counter at Farpoint, but I somehow got grounded the night it was, or was grounded the night it premiered. And
Wait,
fortunately, my
really?
parents, yes, and fortunately, my parents allowed me to record it on our VHS recorder.
How did you get grounded?
So
What did you
I don't
do?
know. I don't know. I don't even remember what I did. I just remember this.
Do you still bring that up with your parents? You grounded
No,
me
I
for
didn't. No,
the
I've
night
not. No,
of
I've
the
not.
Encounter at Farpoint premiere.
I don't think that they would remember, number
To
one,
bring it
and
up. Hashtag
yeah.
never forget.
Yeah, so I mean, apparently I've never forgotten this, but so I had to watch it the next day on VHS, but I was still very excited watching it, so it was a big deal.
Well,
Um,
hopefully it'll be better than yes, Strange New Worlds.
I'm
Sorry,
sure it
then
will be.
Encounter Farpoint rather. Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Yeah, I really, I think one of the things that we've been complaining about both for Discovery and Picard is how they're starting to drag a little bit. Like the serialized nature is getting like is bogging down the story. I mean, the exciting thing about Strange New Worlds is that every episode they get like one if one episode doesn't really work, that's okay. It's like start fresh the next episode. You don't have to like get super bogged down
Yeah,
because the problem right now is that you start with a concept and then it may or may not work that well, but you're stuck with it for the whole season. And now you're just
right,
like, all
yeah.
right, we gotta finish this. You're committed versus the episodic version where you can just, start fresh. So that's what I'm excited for too. Because
Yes.
they've got, it works.
Yeah.
The serialized thing works sometimes, but when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. And it's like, oh my God.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, exactly. When you start getting bogged down in story details or side quests,
Yeah.
things like that, it's just yeah, it's too much. And so
I don't know if
um
do you ever watch, not to tangent too much, of course. Did you ever watch Once Upon a Time on ABC?
I probably watched it when it first came out, but I don't
Oh my God,
remember
season one was the
anything.
best. And it was like 23 episodes. It was totally serialized. It was great. But then this is what happens. Then every season is super serialized. You have 20 something episodes to work with, and it becomes like super long. And then what they did, which I thought was innovative, which I think that Discovery or Picard, well, Picard's over, but Discovery should consider if it keeps on going, is you have mini arcs. So instead of like 10 episodes or 20 episodes, they're not 20 episodes, but instead of like, having to do a 10 episode story, you do a 5 episode story and a 5 episode story, if
Yeah.
you really want to do serialized. And that actually helped Once Upon a Time because like the problem was 20 something episodes for a show like that. It just like, oh my God. But if you do
Well,
like shorter arcs,
right.
because
Well, a
then
lot
you
of the
get to do the
CW
storytelling, but then you don't need to commit so much to it.
right. Well, all the CW shows used to do season long
I know it's
serialized shows, and those get really long.
oh my God.
I don't watch them anymore, but back
Well,
in
I
the
love the
day with
Flash.
Arrow.
Arrow was great, and then after a while, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just gets too much, and yeah, I would love for Discovery to do some like 3 or 4 episode arcs, and
Well, season one kind of did that, which I kind of like season one, as I've mentioned. You had like the Mirror Universe arc, like you had the
yep,
Klingon War
that's true.
setup arc, and then you had the Mirror Universe arc, and then you went back to like the Klingon War. So you ended up
Right.
being like these mini arcs because of the way they broke it up.
Yeah, yeah, it was wow. Yeah, it's been 4 or 5 years since
I
we've
know
yeah.
we're old.
Wow, we are old.
Yes,
Um, it was a lifetime ago. It was a pandemic lifetime ago,
correct.
or several. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to episodic Star Trek. That'll be fun.
Yes,
And
episodic
yeah,
Star Trek. I'm okay with character arcs. That's fine. You know, I think
yes.
they joked about it on the panel. They were like, yeah, it's not like something really traumatic happens to someone, and then it's like the next episode they're fine. It's like that makes sense.
Yeah, Worf
Or-
doesn't break his back and is fine the next week,
Right.
that sort of thing.
Right,
So,
exactly.
which is good. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
just
So
yeah.
cool. Any other Star Trek tidbits or news?
No, no, no. I mean, it's really these days. It's right now. It's kind of slim pickings. That's like Star Trek Picard and what else? Moon Knight, and that's it. Really, nothing
Oh,
else new. Is
you're veering into off topic. Oh, one thing I want to ask, have you had, I know we talked about the convention last week, but have you had any additional thoughts or takeaways from the convention since we last spoke?
I mean, other than still kicking myself for not picking up Wil Wheaton's signed book when I saw it. So, lesson: never forget. Hashtag never forget.
Never forget. Yes.
When you see something you want, buy it.
Right.
Because it's so that there's that.
One
No,
thing
I think
thought about after the convention, after we spoke, and I didn't even notice it at the time, and I was like, wait, there was zero representation from the movies. Like,
right. Yes,
nothing.
that's true.
And I was thinking about
Yeah.
that. I was like, that's a lost opportunity. Like they didn't like, and the thing is, the whole Paramount, whatever, Viacom, CBS, like remerger, whatever you want to call it, back to Paramount or Paramount, whatever they call themselves now. The whole point is that they're remarrying these two universes. So this would have been a perfect opportunity. I'm not saying to get the whole cast there because I think that's really difficult and they're busy. I get it, but it would have been cool to have something, even some props. I don't care, from the movies or something or other. I feel that was really a missed opportunity. I mean, obviously, I know the focus is on the shows right now, but if they have the licensing and they have the content, it's like, why not use it?
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
Yeah, so I would say that this convention was good for us as a kind of gateway into like official Star Trek conventions, because this was sort of haphazardly put together. Something happened at Reed Pop, and there were a lot of missed opportunities. Like they had something very tumultuous happen internally.
I want to know the tea though. I don't really. Do you know any tea from that?
No, I don't know any tea. No, I mean, but so I think whatever happened obviously disrupted. I would say my guesstimate, and this is just based on what we've seen, is that whoever was leading this part of Reed Pop for the Star Trek missions conventions was not doing their job, was doing it horribly. And they had to clean house or whatever and then bring new people in and get them up to speed. And that's why all of these guest announcements were very last minute. Omissions like Wilson Cruz,
Never
Also
forget.
hashtag never
Never
forget.
forget. Yes.
So I'm not surprised. I would also say based on the floor of the convention, right? You know, there was plenty of room for more booths. There was
Oh
plenty of
yeah.
room for more vendors. I think so. I think a lot of it really just fell through, you know.
Or if they
Um,
have so much room, I would also be like, all right, let's just set up more pop-ups or props or whatever.
yeah,
They're all
I mean,
just
I
sitting
think it would have
somewhere,
been.
right? I'm sure they're sitting in some sort of storage. So it's like why not? Let's just bust them out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they did have a couple of They had the Prodigy Captain's Chair and the Strange New Worlds Captain's Chair, but
Well, they had the whole Strange New
why
Worlds
couldn't
like exhibit, and they had the
they did have
Picard,
that? Yes,
the General Picard,
the
whatever, the skulls. That was
skulls.
cool, but there
Yes,
was
that was
definitely
cool,
room for
but that was
more.
it. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. There was plenty of room, so I think there was just a lot of lost opportunity in inviting vendors or
definitely lost
whatever. I mean,
opportunity in my mind. Definitely lost opportunity for them to reposition themselves and say, here's all, we have all the Star Trek content, the films and the series. That would have been a great opportunity to, from an optics standpoint,
mhm.
if they're really going through this rebrand and remerging the franchises or whatever, to be like, here we have everything. That would have been a good idea, but here we are. So
Yeah, here we are. So, hopefully uh Mission Seattle will be much better put together. Although it is on Memorial Day weekend in 2023, which does not excite me about traveling that weekend. It does not excite me about the higher cost of traveling and everything that weekend. And it's also clearly across the country. So,
yes, it's very far.
um, so there's that as well. So and a lot of us in the Trek Geeks podcast network are East Coast based. So it's quite a trek for all of us to go to
Well,
this.
they obviously weren't thinking of us when they figured where they were going
Of
to
course not.
be
No, no,
convention. So
no. I mean, Atlanta would have been fine, go to, but
yeah,
anyway,
why not like
it
a
is what
warm
it
up?
is.
Like,
Let's,
whatever.
yeah, right. Yes. San Diego. Let's go to San Diego. No, it's Comic-Con.
San Diego is so
But
far.
anyway, yes, it is. I'm just thinking of like if they wanted to do West Coast, then
Oh
doing it
yeah,
somewhere
yeah. I'd rather go
warmer
to
would
California
be
than Washington State. So,
yes.
but
So yeah, but well, uh hopefully in a year plus time, things will be running smoothly and the world will you know, be running just fine, hopefully. And we'll have a lot of Star Trek, and maybe, I mean, by then we'll perhaps have a movie coming out soon. I think
we'll
they're,
see.
I think they're
I'll believe it
shooting
when
for
I
a
see it.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah. But yeah, no other real thoughts on the convention, other than yeah, my Wil Wheaton mishap on his book, and yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I would have done really.
I didn't mind. I know that we had a little bit of back and forth on this. I didn't mind the moderators. I thought they were fine. Like
Oh yeah.
they're not big Star Trek fans, obviously. I get it, but I did like their energy. I thought that it was actually
So two of the three were not Star Trek fans. Ming was definitely a Star Trek fan. Like
is
he
that the
knew
Asian
his
guy?
stuff. Yeah, he knew him. He knew his stuff. Remember he did Doug Jones's panel,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
so he knew his stuff. Like he is a nerd slash geek.
Mm.
By the way, this is not a conversation to have right now, but if I ever get to talk to Wil Wheaton, I do want to know the difference between what he considers to be a geek versus nerd. So his book is called Still Just a Geek,
Right.
but on the Ready Room, he says, "Hey nerds." So I'm curious
Oh, how he delineates the two, or if they're conflatable.
Yeah, what's the difference between the two? But anyway, no, I thought, Ming was really good. He did a great job with the ones he did. I think the others,
I liked,
but anyway,
Holly Wong, what's her name?
Helen Hong.
Helen Hong. Oh dear.
I think. Yes.
I don't know. I actually did like.
I mean, she was
my
a
favorite
little...
out of the three.
Oh really? Oh, I liked Ming. I thought Ming did a great job because he's more like, I didn't know him, but he was also just, he knew his stuff. He knew he had geek cred. The others were,
yeah. Well, Helen.
Yes.
You can tell that she does stand up. She's a comedian.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. I thought the guy who did the warm-ups and everything, I thought he was pretty good too.
Are you talking about the guy who wore the white pants the whole weekend? Or are you talking about the other one?
No. I'm talking about the DJ for, the DJ.
Oh, like the MC, right?
The MC, yes.
He was fine.
MC.
Yes, he was okay.
Yeah.
He seemed to know some stuff. He seemed to have knowledge.
Yeah.
And he was good at thinking on his feet with a crowd, so that was fine.
Yes, he was. Yeah, 25 years working for Disney or whatever, and DJing for weddings and whatnot. He knew his stuff.
No, he was good, and he was good. I mean, I thought they were all better than the moderators we got at Vegas. So,
100,000%, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because that's an instance where I feel that they knew their stuff, but I don't think they were very good at moderating.
No, and it was a lot of
self-promotion,
nepotism. Yes, I know Ian Spelling has written about Star Trek for 30 plus years. He used to write in Starlog back when we were growing up, and Starlog. I get it. He has a long journalistic career, but almost all of the moderators, with the exception of, I think, Chase Masterson, were all white guys.
Oh.
And, it was just very not diverse. It was all old school, it just felt very buddy, like family nepotism. Like, oh, you've been doing this for years. We're not going to bring in anybody new. Like that shit bugs the crap out of me. So, I was not impressed with that. I know Ian Spelling. He knows his stuff.
Yes,
but you know what?
Yes,
he's not representative of the people who are watching Star Trek now.
Right.
So, and neither are the other guys.
Yeah.
So
I guess they're not perfect, but I preferred the moderators we got at Chicago.
Yes. I would take. If they brought those three back for the next one, absolutely, I'd be totally fine with it. But I think there is a little bit of a petition to Paramount and even Reed Pop to kind of reach out to the community and find people not unlike ourselves. I'm not saying that we should be up on stage, because I don't know that we could, but not on the main stage, but people who have been in the industry for a little bit longer, or who just more common people who are fans but also know their stuff. And
no, it's hard because sometimes it's interesting to bring a different perspective. I get it. I get what people are saying, but sometimes it is interesting to have a complete different POV on stage. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see.
All right.
What happens?
Maybe, gosh, how long we've been talking for a while. So we should probably talk about Picard now, right?
Yes. So why don't we get into it? We'll talk about this week's episode, Monsters, Season 2, Episode 7.
The mission, Renee.
I'm not talking about the mission. All of that was part of Q's plan. Did you experience that? Did you relive those memories?
I have to take that on board.
You know there's more to that story, don't you?
Whatever it is irrelevant with what we are trying to fix.
Not if he wants you to know it.
There is no better teacher than one's enemy. But I've been letting him control the lessons, Know thyself. That's what he wanted. Know myself. What if the lesson I take is know him?
I'm not sure I'm following.
I always filed Q as unknowable, but here he is, so late in my life, still fixated on me. He needs this trial to happen. He's saying it's about me, but it's deeply personal and urgent to him. If we understand why that is, we can go on offense.
It sounds like you want to summon Q. Flattered, but that might be beyond my capabilities.
Yours may be. But there's someone else.
Talon ventures inside Picard's subconscious mind to help him wake from a coma and face both his darkest secrets and deepest fears. Seven and Raffi go in search of Jurati, whom they fear has succumbed to the monster inside. Rio struggles to hide the truth of who he really is from Teresa.
Does he?
There
All
we
right.
go.
Well, I guess we can get into it. All right. So I thought it'd be good for us because this episode, unlike a number of the past episodes we've had, have very distinct like A plot, B plot, C plot. So I thought we could talk about this episode, just quick overview thoughts. Let's not go on for 10 minutes rambling on and on about, everything. Quick overview thoughts, overall thoughts rather, and then we can split things up, talk about Picard and Talon, Seven and Raffi, and then Rios and Teresa. So, Mike, I'll start with you. And I want complete unique thoughts from what you have already articulated on Discovering Trek.
All right.
I don't want any
you haven't
of content. Zero duplication.
Oh, whatever.
So,
Whatever.
Mike, quick overall thoughts about this episode.
So at first I didn't enjoy this episode quite as much, but then on subsequent rewatches I liked it even more.
Okay.
So my liking of the episode, I've watched it 3 times now.
Oh my god. Okay.
I've grown to like it and appreciate it more and more. So I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
All things said and done. So yeah, that's sort of, it's got some good parts. It's got some, maybe less exciting parts, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What did you think? And I'm just going to hold you to the same standard you just placed on me. Don't go on a diatribe here about why
I'm the one that's proposing this outline, so I know how to stick to my prescription. Anyway,
we'll see.
Yeah, I was not a fan of this episode. I fell asleep. Actually, I told you this. I fell asleep. I actually only watched this once, and I was trying to muster the enthusiasm to watch it again, and I couldn't. So I've only seen it once. Overall, I just I really didn't really feel that it was particularly revelatory. I don't think it really pushed the plot forward, and I also question some of the plot points, some of the narrative. So yeah, I just thought it was boring. Like I was literally bored. And we also didn't have any Jurati Borg Queen, which is my favorite narrative thread of the season. So it was like, by then I was like, wait, where's Jurati? So that was another letdown for me. So yeah, that's my main takeaway. Well, why don't we break things down so we can add some structure to our conversation. So yeah, why don't we start with Picard's journey, and Talon's obviously mixed in there. So yeah, why don't we start with that?
Okay, sounds good.
I'm handing it over to you. That was a prompt.
Oh, that was a handoff?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. We need to work on your handoffs. That was not exactly.
I thought it was obvious enough. I was like, let's start with that. And then I paused and I was waiting for you.
You paused with no question, anyway.
Do you need questions or you start talking? All right. What did you think of Picard's subplots? The A plot of this episode?
So the beginning of the episode was really confusing until you, on multiple rewatches, you start to pick up little details. So specifically that he's in the ready room, which is the ready room from the La Serena, not from
Yes.
another ship.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that's kind of confusing at first. Then there's this fireball, there's this star in the sky and beyond the outside of the ship. And then there's a let's just say a Model 1 sitting next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not until much later in the episode that you see that he drew that in his notebook. So
yes.
you wouldn't on first viewing, you would not make that connection back to the beginning. So that's why I said in multiple rewatches, you kind of start to tease out the hidden things, because we are talking about Picard's subconscious. So we are, I think once you watch it again, you'll pick up on some of these other things. So I was still confused by, eventually we learned that the interviewer, by the way, I am Baltar. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
Yeah,
I am not a fan of James Callis. I think obviously, he's a fine
Dr.
actor.
Baltar.
What?
I love Dr. Baltar.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Did you not like Dr. Baltar because he was a douche?
Yes, he was a douche. Yeah,
But he was so
I did
good.
not
He was
like
such
him.
a complex villain.
Okay. Anyway, we're not talking about Battlestar Galactica. We're talking about Picard.
It's like I like Dr. Baltar as much as I love Kai Wynn.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. So I had a hard time adjusting to him being there, and obviously you don't learn until much later in the episode that he is actually his father, which is weird because in the beginning Picard doesn't recognize him. He thinks he's just a psychologist. So there's that piece that really didn't connect with me about that, as well as not connecting with James Callis, who a lot of people mix up with Alexander Siddig.
What?
So there's this whole thing about, yes, people think that there was Bashir there, and it's not. It's two completely different. Yes, it was a huge thing on the interwebs. I liked I liked the star and how it came back later in the episode as the sort of the map of the what's underneath the chateau, right? Of the tunnels and whatnot. So I really did enjoy eventually learning and seeing and realizing that the demons are not real, that the demons they're not physically real like they're made out to be. It's really the demons that his mother was fighting.
Yes.
So it's all, but it's, from a child's perspective, you get these, they're probably, this is a child's
like
memory of
right?
something.
Like,
they're
analogies to like the struggles that his mom went through in his tumultuous childhood.
So I thought it played out really well, though. I thought that learning about all of this, learning about his mother's demons, I really liked I liked that they took on this whole idea of mental health and the effects on families and getting help and all of that. So I like the undertones of the episode in that way. I thought that the actors who played Yvette and young Picard, Madeline Wise and Dylan Von Halley, did a great job portraying their characters, and I really loved Orla Brady in this because she played off young Picard really well. So I thought that was really, like, she was kind of like the very motherly figure that I just really thought she did a wonderful job with that, and trying to help young Picard, work through his experiences that he's having. I also thought that it was really dark that in the end you realize that his mother abandons him, and it was only because he dropped his notebook that his father actually found him. So because he was caught, his foot was caught and broken, like it couldn't get away, and if it started to rain he would have drowned. So I thought that was all really an interesting perspective, because you do kind of, from the history of the Next Generation, Maurice Picard never agreed with his son going to Starfleet, was just a mean person. And
we didn't get that much in TNG about really his family life, other than his, some of the stuff we see in Family and his interactions with Robert. Like, we get very little of it. So, I actually liked the first scene. It was very like mystery what's happening, but I actually really liked it. It was kind of like, you can tell that this was happening in his mind's eye, and it was very surreal and what was happening. I actually like that. And then I just feel that it didn't really go in many places. I mean, like, I mentioned this to you. I just think that at the end of the day, and apparently there's more to see, right? There's like, because Talon was like, oh, there's more that you're not revealing, and apparently there's more to the story. I feel that honestly, yes, I feel his mother's probably going to kill herself or something like that. Some tragic thing's going to happen. But the last thing that we see is like she's locked in the room,
right? And young Picard has the key, so you can kind of intuit that he probably let her out
or something. Right?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
So I feel something tragic's going to happen, and he's further trauma such it's going to blame himself. At the same time,
he's going to blame himself, but I also think Maurice is going to blame him as well. So I think that that's sort of going to be the impetus for the break between him and Maurice, and why he never this lack of bonding with his father happens. This and also I think that kind of leads him to running away, air quotes, running away to Starfleet Academy, like to get away, to get off Earth, to get away from all the tragedy that he's endured as a young kid. So I think that this is all like the story. And the thing that I think is really important to remember is that this episode is all about, or this show is all about Picard. So Patrick Stewart really wanted to do a different take on Picard, or go deeper and do some stories that he hadn't done before. So I think that it's interesting that we're diving into this, and a lot of people aren't necessarily resonating with this storyline as much, in the sense of like, this isn't Star Trek, or this isn't, this isn't.
That's my problem with it. Like, I'm okay, like, diving into the psyche and the psychological makeup of the character. I just thought it was somewhat pedestrian. Like, I literally used the word pedestrian. I didn't think it was that interesting, because I thought it would be much more interesting. I don't even know what to expect necessarily, but there's just been so much buildup. And remember, the premise of the season, which we have yet to really reveal, is Q wanting Picard to like face his fears, right? And
or learn some lesson that we don't know what is. Yeah.
That is so earth-shattering that Q has manipulated all space and time to teach Picard this lesson, so that Picard can somehow help Q. And I was like, there's so much hinging on this. And I was just like, that's it? I was just kind of like, whatever. I was just like, all right, your mom had, mom. I'm not belittling that. But at the same time, there's so much hinging on this that I was like, all right. And then after, Picard comes out of it, I also was not quite sure, because like he had the conversation with Talon, right? He was like, yeah, Q wanted me to learn something. I don't remember the whole thing. Like, basically he was like, yeah, like Q wanted me to learn something. After he comes
out of I thought actually that was probably for me the most pivotal scene of this episode, was that Picard realizing that Q is actually trying to teach him a lesson, so that he'll know himself. But in that lesson, he's also like, I can also get to know Q. Q is not this unknowable.
I mean, half of it we knew already. We knew that, and he also surmised it at the beginning of the season.
That something's wrong with Q. Yeah.
Well, something's wrong with Q, but that Q always tries to teach a lesson, right? He's always trying to, like, there's always some sort of takeaway every time Q pops up. So I was like, all right, we knew that, Q's trying to teach you something already, and we know something's wrong with Q. We know all this. So I thought a lot of it was just like reiterating what we as the audience already knows. But I was like, okay, but what is it? And we're like at the end of episode 7 already, and we have yet to learn. Okay, so I'm sure it's going to be revealed. It's just like, but what is it? It's it's just like dragging on. Not a lot of new information has been revealed to us. So I agree. In terms of like Talon and some of those scenes, I thought they were particularly salient. I think Talon's, Orla Brady's great. So honestly, whatever they put her in, I'm gonna like kind of enjoy. We'll see. We'll see. But I thought that was
She also reveals that she's a Romulan. So.
I was like, oh my god, this thing. It's like it's becoming like it's almost like comical. It's like basically everyone of a common lineage looks alike. It's getting a little bit ridiculous for me. It's silly. I think it's silly, but sure, I'll take
between
it.
the song. You mean between the songs and now Talon and Lara,
yes. And also Soji or whatever. I don't remember her name. Roma. What's her name? What's the daughter's name?
Corey.
Corey. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god. It's like it's almost like just an in-universe joke, like whatever. But sure. And sorry. And did you have anything more to say about this subconscious exploration of Picard and all that?
No, I mean, I think that the takeaway is what he learns or what he realizes about Q, and then he goes and we get back to Guinan again, which was
but
great.
I was so thrown off because I was like, wait, why didn't Talon follow him? Where did she go? I thought that was weird.
No, because remember, Talon and Guinan don't get along.
I know that. I remember that. But at the same time, I was like, this is such a pivotal moment. You're just not going to go with him. Like, that was weird. Like,
I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, I totally understood why she wasn't there.
One thing I remember, this was like for 2 episodes ago. I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place. But remember how Talon can also control minds? Like when we were first like introduced her, the supervisor, she was able to like control people. I'm like, why didn't she do that at the party? Why didn't she do it at the gala? Like she could obviously like control people's heads, right? And like make them do things. So wouldn't that have been convenient?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we never really figured that out.
Yeah, they never explained it. Like they, because I remember this because the first time that Guinan leads Picard to the supervisor, like yes, there's some like bad beef between them, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, she was able to control people. I was like, oh yeah, that would have been useful for the gala, huh?
But for very short periods of time. So, we didn't really explore that after that. After she brought Picard back to the apartment, it was sort of, that wasn't the conversation anymore. The conversation.
It did.
Yeah.
And they were totally amicable, whereas it was weird because Guinan kind of set Talon up to be like the supervisor, to be someone you don't want to mess with. You know what I mean? And then it was weird. It was like someone that's really threatening, if you recall, like the way that Guinan was setting it up. And then Talon's like totally cool. Like she's like, whatever. And she's kind of letting Picard like do his thing. Like she's not even like, like the whole thing with the party was like, all right, I guess you can like go interfere. Like she's very not pushover, but she's kind of chill, So I thought that was weird setup.
But after that, I really thought that we got to see some reminiscent Guinan Picard moments where it felt more like, this, at the end of this episode, it felt more like how we know them in the 24th/25th century.
Because she wasn't going on and on about how the world's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, she stuck around because of him, but also,
but she also I totally know what you're talking about. She has this like.
But the way she talks, the way she, I love the conspiratorial, like them whispering in the corner, even though they're the only people there. They're like sort of, and then this other guy comes in, but that even before that, they're just sitting there in the corner, like conspiratorially talking to one another, which made me feel like, oh, this is sort of the Guinan Picard relationship that we know. And so, her beef of,
Right.
The beef that she's had previously, and all of that is sort of past. And then we learn about the history of the Q and the Elorians, which I thought
Right.
was really interesting.
Well, I think that was a major
and
factor in how, like, why she felt different this time, because she kind of brought this otherworldly knowledge to the conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
I think that it showed that she has this like wisdom and knowledge beyond how she looks, which I think is a big factor.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I thought Ito Aguirre, we
don't know her
have
name.
yet to land on how to say her last name, but Ito did a great job with Guinan once again. The scream was all her. If you watch the Ready Room, she, like, all of that, her whole performance was all her. Like, it wasn't in the script. She brought all of that to this performance,
Like
which
jazz
was amazing. The hands that Guinan and Q puts up. So yeah, that was all her bringing that to this episode. So kudos to her for her research and all of that. And I think it's really interesting to hear the story of how the Elorians, she calls them the denizens of Q, or she refuses to call them
The denizens of the Q continuum.
Yeah, she refuses to call them gods. She calls them denizens, and I think that's also really Guinan-like as well.
The thing that I thought was interesting is, I don't know if you got the sense, because like the bottle she brings out, it looks like a genie bottle or something.
It's very like much the I Dream of Genie bottle. It looks like, exact.
Yeah, yes. It felt almost like it felt almost like a spell. Like, you know what I mean? The whole thing. I thought that was a little bit weird, like, for Star Trek. It was interesting.
I mean, I sort of liked it because it gives this otherworldly.
It's like, is this
feeling to Guinan?
I don't know. I didn't mind it, but I was like, oh, it's almost like it's a summoning spell. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, which didn't work. So interestingly enough, so we can speculate a little bit about what's going on with Q because of that, assuming that she did the spell right, which we have no reason not to believe that.
Yeah, I'm curious as to whether or not, if it's just something wrong with QQ or the larger continuum, because would the spell have called another Q or something like that? Is something like more wrong, or if it's just RQ, like an issue with RQ?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I wonder if it is with the whole continuum, but also the fact that RQ is very affected by this. I also think, I've been, I speculate that Q is either projecting himself back in time, or had just enough powers left to make this all happen, in order so this is my prediction, is that he did all this with the last bits of his power to help Picard learn this lesson, so that in the end Picard will go and help him and the Q continuum. Like, I think that's what I'm imagining season 3 is going to be all about, is the fact that whatever lesson Picard learns this season, he's going to feel indebted or want to help Q, and that's going to be the mission of season 3 with the original Next Generation crew. So that's my speculation. I have nothing to base it on. That's just my mind working overtime and thinking about all this. So,
oh my God, I not want that. Like, that sounds terrible to me.
And then the episode ends with this guy coming into the bar, Agent Wells, which, I didn't recognize him during watching this, even
I didn't recognize. I was like, he looks really familiar, but I did not recognize him until.
Yeah, and then he's the same guy that was on the Relativity.
Right.
So, but he gave off very Mulder from X-Files vibes, which I thought was kind of interesting. I liked that. And, the preview of the next episode, they're sort of in a basement, which doesn't even really look like
I mean,
so
it just looks like an interrogation room. It looks like an interrogation room to me.
Oh, to me it didn't. It looked like somewhere, in some basement somewhere in some building that he has just brought these people in for on his own, and has a small group of people that work for him. But I get this feeling that he's very Mulder like,
Maybe.
But we'll see. There is a chance that he is from the future, so there is that possibility. Time, if
he's not, I'm kind of like, do we really need? Because this was my initial reaction, which I think was yours as well. Like, do we need like another thread to start?
Right? Yeah. Like, yes.
When I feel there's so many other things to wrap up and get back to. We haven't seen Q for 2 episodes at least.
Right.
We had this whole. Let's backtrack. We've had this like whole like ice thing that took up 2.5 episodes of Rafi 7, Rios. I mean, the only thing we got out of that was Teresa, which, at least there's that. But literally, they went on this whole side quest. And then there was another side quest with Renee, who is now gone. Like, and I'm not sure. I guess the output of that was to get Jean-Luc run over so that he would go into a coma, so that Talon would go into subconscious and reveal to him his fears, so that he can then realize what his fears are. It's just like, what? Like, I mean, I just don't understand. Because Q obviously went out with Renee to sabotage. No, right. Q went out his way to sabotage Renee for the purpose of, just think about it, for the purpose of getting Picard to go to the gala to get run over by Adam Sung, so that Talon can go to. It's ridiculous. Is that really Q's plan? Because the next episode we see that he's obviously after Corey or something. So I'm just like, what? Like, where the seasons?
Oh, I didn't see anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he's going after Corey in the next. Spoiler, it's in the preview. But I'm just like,
who's going after him? Wait, who's going after her? Q is going after Corey.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He appears to Corey.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah, I agree. We don't need another side quest.
It's also been just all over the place. I don't really know. Is this the most direct way for Q to teach Picard what he needs to teach him? Like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like he needs to get into an accident for him to realize his fears or whatever.
Right.
It's very bizarre to me. I just don't. And now, episode 7. Now, do we need another new character for us to go off on? And we still need to get back to the future. I don't want season 3 to be about more Q stuff. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, John Delancey did leak that he's in season 3. So
I wonder, if that's entirely true. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
So
that's sort of that's the main thread line through this episode. Then we have 2 subplots going on here. We have
7 and Rafi,
and
and we get Jurati for a second when we see her in the season footage, and she drops by the bar. And then we get Rafi and 7, trying to find her whereabouts and realizing what's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So what were your thoughts about their side quests? Another side quest.
I love the conversation when they beam back to the ship. I thought the play off of one another and about growing old together and tripping people with
that was great.
Canes.
I like that.
I thought that was all really cute.
And we saw that when we watched the writer room. You remember in Chicago, they previewed that scene.
Yes, yeah. So it was I love the banter between Rafi and 7. I like this version of 7 a lot. I like this human not assimilated by Borg. Jerry Ryan gets to shine as an actress. She's a great actress, and they have great chemistry with one another. So I think so. It's sort of like they're almost like to use a Scooby-Doo reference. They're like Velma and Daphne, kind of going off to they're the investigators trying to find Jurati, and which is again we only see Jurati for like a minute in this episode
Right.
as she goes in. We do see and I can't think of her name, and I apologize.
Wife?
Yes, I can't think of her name.
I don't.
But it was nice to see her in the episode. Patrick convinced her to do this, which I thought was great. So yeah, which I'd never seen his wife before.
I just thought that scene was odd. Like, if you need to get a rush of endorphins, is the best way to do that to go into a bar and break the window? It's just very like, why not ride a roller coaster? Or I don't know. I feel there's so many other ways to get a rush of endorphins. It just like was very weird to me. And then like when Seven and Rafi are they're investigating, and then Seven breaks a glass. I was like, what is she doing? And she's like, trying to put the pieces together. And I'm like, really? I was just like, is this the best way to get a rush?
Actually, I thought that actually made the scene, because it helped me understand what was happening with the Borg Queen. And so by Seven doing that and explaining it, you kind of get, oh yeah, if I smash something, on purpose, it does kind of give me a little bit of a thrill. It's, forbidden. It's, but it's exciting as well to break something that, has no consequence or whatever. So that made it all sink in as to like, because, the whole like song and dance, and when the Queen takes over from the gala is, you kind of don't get that same impression, because for a lot of people performing on stage, and certainly for Jurati, performing on stage would seem to be more of a stress inducer, not a stress reliever. And so I thought that
it's more is she going more for like part of it's the adrenaline rush, but then the euphoria that comes afterwards, right? Because if you have a big presentation and it goes well, you afterwards to kind of get a
you feel that's true. But I didn't piece that together until just now, that piece. But also I think Seven smashing the bottle helped me understand that whole
okay. I was like, random,
that sort of thrill that, to beef up her nanites and make her happy.
I would be like
stressed.
Honestly, a better way to really get endorphinized or really get a rush is probably just have sex with someone. Like, she would probably hook up with someone, and that would have been amazing.
I mean, maybe that's next. Maybe that we don't know what happened.
If she needs that rush, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's probably more effective than smashing some glass.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Hooking up with some guys, and maybe if someone
which maybe she did.
So
perhaps, yeah. Well, we have yet to see what they haven't found anything beyond her smashing the glass, and they don't know what's next for her, where she's gone to. So, hope I'm sure we'll find that out this next episode, hopefully. So I enjoyed the whole like
I like their
investigator.
Banter. Yes,
their
banter and running around LA. By the way, I mentioned this to you. I'm so over LA. I'm just like, we gotta get it.
You've always been over LA. You don't. Yes,
I'm over LA, but LA also just looks the same constantly. It's like mid-high-rise buildings that are all the same color, unless you're like in Beverly Hills or Hollywood, where it has a very distinct look. Like, a lot of the buildings in LA just like look the same. It's not very unique looking. It's like, I got it. It's not like the most. I don't think it's the most like thrilling place to film.
It's not the most architecturally diverse.
It's not aesthetically. It's not an aesthetically interesting city.
Yes.
And it's like also kind of like just LA is like, it's so spread out. That's the other thing about LA. It's very spread out. That's the only thing I don't like about LA. It's very spread out, and the energy is very spread out. And it's just like, I don't know.
Which I think is perfect for like this sort of adventure. Like, doing this in New York City, it would be, obviously
that'd be too much.
It would be too much, because, our police and whatnot are more on like looking out for people who are acting this way versus in LA, they can sort of hide in the weeds of the, you know, outskirts of the city or whatever, wherever they are. But anyway, yeah, I'm enjoying their banter. I'm hopeful that their romance will continue.
Yeah. I
I
wouldn't
think
mind for that
that's
to
great.
continue season 3. I would be into
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, why don't we get into the final plot thread of this episode, which is mostly focused on Rios. So thoughts?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah. What did you like this part at all?
I actually like Rios and Teresa. I think they have really good chemistry.
Agreed.
And they play off each other really well. Even the kid, I don't mind the kid. He's actually, I'm like, his interactions with Rios are actually kind of cute. There's just a lot of like logicals with this, like, and people have said like, oh, like, yeah, like Rios gave her like whatever it was, the oscillator. I don't even know what it was, and she knew how to use it. Like, I wouldn't know how to use that. Like, she was just like, she pushed a button, like just started like waving it over Jean-Luc. I was like, I don't know about that, but sure. There was that, and yeah, just I think the thing that boggled my mind was him just, and not just like telling her about everything, but then bring her back to the ship and the kid back to the ship was just like another level, which why I think that Rios is gonna stay behind, or Teresa and the kid are gonna go into the future. It's they've been brought too far. I don't know, like but it also kind of was just like, oh my god, like not only it's so far and beyond like what they were told not to do, that I feel at some point he was like, fuck it, you know, like I've just told everything. Like it just like it was a little
it doesn't make entirely sense to what we know about the mission and butterflies and trying not to,
but it's just like complete in the face of it. It wasn't just like, oh, by accident. It was literally like on purpose. But that's why I think at some point he was like, fuck it, you know, like she already knows enough, like with the damage that's been done, might as well. Which I'm like, I guess. I mean, that very much happened. The same thing happened in Star Trek 4 with Jillian Taylor. Like, it was at some point, like,
right, yeah,
like,
exactly, yeah.
Like Kirk got tired of just trying to lie to her and was like completely brought her in, and then she went to the future. So it's like it's a little bit like that, you know. It's very reminiscent of Star Trek 4, which I have brought up before. So
yeah, I actually like the callback to Star Trek 4. I liked when Rios said, I'm from Chile, but I work in outer space. I thought that was really, you know, you could see that coming, but I thought it was cute and, you know, interesting. You know, it was you could see that coming. So yeah, we do have a Star Trek 4 situation, whether Rios stays behind or whether Rios stays behind, or if Teresa and Ricardo, her son, go to the future is yet to be determined. My money is on Rios staying behind, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, not that that's gonna happen.
I do enjoy their chemistry. I do like. I think it's very. There's a great dynamic between the two of them. Sol Rodriguez, she's great. She plays Teresa.
Okay.
Yeah. She. You know. So I think that. Yeah. I think it's great to see this.
She's great. I actually
chemistry,
really like the actress. I think she's doing a great job, and you know, I think we both like women with spunk. Like, I think this is the common thread.
Yeah.
And yeah, she has spunk. You know, she doesn't take things lying down. Like, you know, she's very strong.
Any crap. I think
that's why we both like her. And she and Rios are you know, they work well together. I just question the logic of
Rios. Yeah, Rios' logic in this doesn't make any sense. Yes,
but maybe he's in love and it doesn't matter. Like, maybe it's that.
Yeah, I think that there's that. Yeah, I think there's feelings involved here. I think that there's this. You know, he's made a couple of mentions to feel like that he's sort of out of his depth with Picard, not understanding the robot body, nobody talking about it. He's been through a lot with his previous captain. He's become a loner, so in a lot of ways, and he mentions that Picard is sort of like a father figure for him, which I think it was a nice reveal in that way. So that this
I
is
was like,
someone.
sure.
I mean, I think it's someone who's looking for found someone that he's interested in, and family, and she did save his life, so there's that.
Oh, Teresa.
Yeah, she saved his life. I mean, he
I
had a head injury.
I never the thing about, just going back to what I said really quickly, the Rios feeling like Picard's a father figure. I just never really sensed that. That came out of left field for me a little bit. Because I never really felt that they had that kind of connection or banter. I mean, other than the fact that Picard's older and he's a man of authority, I never really like got that kind of.
Oh, I did, because Rios sort of defers to him in almost everything. So he he looks to Picard to kind of lead the way, and he keeps on saying, like, we need Picard to guide us through this. Like, that's been his through line, is like, we need.
Then he's also, because Picard is the older and more experienced officer between the two of them. Like,
yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying that there is that feeling of connectedness there for Rios, in whatever capacity, in a pseudo father figure, whatever it may be. I think it's, I believe it. I can see it as a through line throughout this season. So,
and I think
that,
I wouldn't have said that until he said it. I was like, oh, I guess. Like, it's not like wrong. I'm like, okay, sure. It's just like not. It wouldn't have been like the first.
I mean, I don't know that I would have put my complete finger on it, but I could see. Once he said it, I could see it throughout the whole season, like how he's deferred to Picard in a lot of ways. How he, how he when he comes on the Stargazer, how he defers to him, and like, it's your, like, all of this stuff. I just see that sort of through line, and also the fact that Picard got him back into Starfleet, so there's also that piece of it as well. So I think he owes Picard a lot in a lot of ways, and so yeah. But anyway, I think that's what everyone that I've talked to has kind of had a problem with, is Rios's actions just don't make sense. And
like, he's in love or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it could be as simple as that. It could be really that simple. So, and maybe that is the answer. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's obvious, I think, that he's in love, but
yes, he's in love.
We don't know that that's the motivation for his actions. But yes, we can sort of assume that,
for some people, if they have enough of those feelings, it's like, yeah, fuck it, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And he's enjoying the 21st century, so this is also why, like, he sort of feels at home. So that's, again, sort of, for me, leads me to believe that perhaps Rios is going to stay in the past, but we'll kind of see. But I thought this episode. So last week, I thought last week's episode was only 38 minutes and it dragged on. This one's 46 minutes, and it just, I thought it, as I'm watching it the second and third time, I never looked at the clock. I never looked at how long. I thought the episode moved along really well. I thought that there was a lot of great dialogue in this episode. So I think that the writer did a great job with the dialogue between.
No, I mean, the episode it dropped for me. Like, the even though I feel that
you, right,
it did. Yeah, even though Orla Bree, I think, did a good job. Like, I thought, like, some of the scenes, especially in the tunnels and with young Picard, I thought that dragged on for a bit. That's when I fell asleep, actually. I thought there was a lot of that, and them kind of running around in the tunnels, and I feel that actually could have been tightened up a little bit. I don't have huge problems with the pacing, but there were problems. I felt there were like I got a little bored. But obviously that's me. I'm glad you liked it. Maybe I should watch it again and maybe I'll like it more on my second viewing. But
Yeah,
overall,
I think you should give it more time, you know. I think
like literally I
you
couldn't
know, it
muster
grows
the
on you.
enthusiasm to watch it again because I was like, I don't need to see all these tunnel scenes and them kind of just like fighting these
Right,
monsters and
yeah.
blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah. Nope. I totally yeah. You know, it's not for everyone. I mean, you know, I know some people who are really not enjoying a lot of this because this doesn't feel Star Trek enough to them. So,
My problem
you
is
know,
definitely
which
not
is
that.
fun.
It's
Yeah,
not
no.
that doesn't feel Star Trek. Like it's definitely much more along the lines of what I was saying earlier, where I actually don't think it's. I don't think it really. At the end of the day, I just don't know how much it adds to Picard as a character. Like, I just feel that there's so many, like we get so many defining moments with him in the Next Generation, and obviously I know that things in our childhood really stick with us, but there's so many other things that have defined him as a person that we've seen, and that was over the course of literally like 8-9 years. That something like this, I think, because a lot of those situations have been so fantastical because of the situation, right? Like whatever, he died and came back to life, like in Tapestry, basically. He was assimilated by the Borg. I'm trying to think what else. There's been others, like,
I mean,
you know, whatever.
he brokered peace with the Klingon Empire. You know,
There's plenty of things have defined him as a person that I just feel something like this is so pedestrian and just not that interesting. And I'm just surprised that he never dealt with it. I guess he's 100 years old at this point, and he's never dealt with it. Like, he's never been forced to kind of grapple with this in any way, which I suppose
he's never
can happen,
needed to.
You know, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really know how much it adds to him as a character. For me.
Oh, I think it's interesting. You know, I think it makes it interesting for him as an actor to do this. He didn't, you know, we all love Jean-Luc Picard. I mean, that's why we're watching this show. That's why we, you know, love him.
Really, not all of us
love this.
Not all of our sci-fi sisters are a big fan of Patrick Stewart anyway. Maybe not Jean-Luc Picard, but
yeah.
I think
that's
fully fleshed out conversation that we had with them. That was interesting.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I think that this is the reason why Patrick Stewart agreed to come back, was to do this deeper character study on Picard that we didn't get in Next Generation and in the movies. So I think that is why we're here, and this is the journey we're getting, and we are delving into, we've got, you know, he is almost 100 years old, and now we're diving into when he was a young boy and how this impacted him, and because it's, the other piece of it is because it's affecting him forming relationships now in the kind of twilight of his life, you know. So that is, I think, the crux of it is this whole idea of what happens with his mother has impacted all of his relationships all his life. And, you know, he's just he was captain of the Stargazer for 20 years or whatever. You know, it's just someone who's run away from his past or run away from any connections to having a family, which is also why The Inner Light is such a powerful episode, because it's the first time that you see
Picard. Another one where
but you get to see him forming a family and how much that means to him, how that impacts him, that experience. And so I think that this
by the next episode, of course. You know,
of course, yes, of course, but that's the way, you know, that's the way it goes in those days. But so I think this is the ride we're on. This is, you know, this show is all about Picard. This is Picard in a different light, looking at his past, and hopefully in season 3 we'll get to see how he takes whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to. We'll see. I mean, excited to kind of get past this, and then all right, now then what happens to him as a character? Sure.
Yeah. Well,
one thing I also did notice that I think was a lost opportunity is that, we're not getting any of Robert in like these like childhood scenes,
that's someone else brought that up as well. And
like very missing.
Very, very missing from this.
Like what was he doing?
That's a great question, but we're not getting the answer to that.
We're not getting any of that.
We're not. So we might as well just,
unless there's some sort of big twist. I don't think that Robert's gonna have it.
I don't think we're gonna get any big twist with that. No, Robert is not something that is going to bring any more to Picard's character. So
unless he kills the mother, that would be interesting. That would be a twist.
Oh, that Robert is responsible for.
Yeah, I'm just making up shit now. But
wow, but that's interesting. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But anyway, that's retconning a lot.
Father kills him. Maybe his father kills her. I don't know, something happened.
Who knows? Well, we'll see. So anyway, but we talked a long time about this episode. I mean, there was a lot going on in this episode, which is why I think I liked it. But there was a lot of different things happening in this episode, and unlike Discovery, we get to actually dive deeper with these characters. They get a little bit more screen time. Not Jurati this week, but so I like the smaller crew and the ability to spend more time with these characters, and I love Orla Brady, so I think I'm so happy that she got to play more than Laris this season. So
I'm glad they brought her back, even though I feel the explanation is a little silly, like, oh, she's the ancestor, whatever, it's fine, like I'll take it, I guess, just to see more of her.
It
does bother me, as I said, but I'm also kind of like, all right, it's fine. Like whatever,
it's the in-universe thing, it is what it is. So well, cool. There we go.
All right, do we still want to talk about off topic?
No, we've gone on long enough. Let's I'm tired. Let's bring this let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsor?
Absolutely. Fansets is the exclusive sponsor of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and Deep Space Pride. And they've got some really cool pins from Chicago that we get to see. My favorite is the new Master Ships collection, which is a 3-dimensional magnet / pin. It's not really a pin. It's sort of a display. But it is the Enterprise A, which I think is really cool. I do like the design of the A, although the refit of the original Enterprise is my favorite. But it's a beautiful pin. It's heavy duty. It's awesome. And it's available now on fansets.com, as well as the 3 pins from Star Trek Mission Chicago in 3 different sizes. So including the extra large one that has the outline of the Enterprise D in it, and some glitter as well. So
glitter.
So there's some really neat pins. So head on over to fansets.com, go to new releases. You're going to see all the pins that I just talked about. Plus there's the new Admiral pin that can go along with your Delta from Star Trek 2, your magnetic or pin-on Delta from Star Trek 2. So head on over to fansets.com, put a bunch of pins in your cart. If you spend more than $30 and you live in the US, you're going to get free shipping. And if you use the word Trek Geeks at checkout, you're going to get 10% off your order. And we want to thank Fansets, John and Lou and the whole team for sponsoring the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and Deep Space Pride.
Thanks, Vincent. All right, cool. Well, we obviously had a lot to say about Picard. We'd love to hear from everyone and hear your thoughts about Picard season 2 or anything else that we chatted about. You can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at DeepSpacePride, or you can email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com. If you reach out to us, we'll do our best to get back to you. And if you like this podcast, please leave us a high star review, 4+ star review, if possible, on your podcast platform of choice. Cool.
All right.
There
we go.
All right, cool. That does it for another episode of Deep Space Pride. Mike, did you have anything else to regale our listeners with?
No, definitely not. Looking forward to episode 8. Hopefully we make a huge leap towards resolving some of these things that are left up in the air. And we move towards the finale, or the penultimate episode, in 2 weeks.
Oh my God. All right.
It also happens with the premiere of Strange New Worlds. But anyway, yes, thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate you.
The finale that's the overlap, right? Yes.
No, because
tomorrow's episode 8. The next week's episode 9, and then episode 10 is on May 5th.
You're right. Correct. Yes. Sorry, I messed that up.
So
very good. Good catch. Anyway.
All right. So we'll be talking about the finale of Picard and the premiere of Strange New Worlds. It's going to be a lot to discuss. So
yes,
mentally
we'll need your succinctness and your plan of attack for that episode.
All right. Well, cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all here next week.
Bye.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com, or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.